Hi, I'm Jordan, and I'm here once again with Tom. And we're going to talk today about the effects of eating too little on weight loss or weight gain. So there is an idea floating around that if you eat too little, that could be the cause of your weight gain. And so, in fact, you need to eat more in order to weigh less. So this is a complicated topic. Let's jump right in.
Yeah, you hear this from a lot of people who struggle with weight loss, and they have this idea that maybe I'm just eating too little. I don't think I eat enough, and that's why I'm not losing weight. And some industry professionals and just, the general consensus of the industry has sort of perpetuated that idea that if you're not eating enough, you're not going to lose weight. So, like most things, there's some truth there, but not the whole truth, or not the truth the way that people push it in the industry. So what'll happen if you eat too little is your body doesn't like it when you don't eat enough. It sees it as a problem. It sees it as a slow beginning to a creeping death of dying of starvation down the line. So your body does things to try and mitigate the effects of undereating. So it'll slow down your metabolism, it'll slow down your metabolic rate, it will decrease your energy levels, so you're less likely to get up and move around and have the energy to exercise and do things like that. It'll increase your hunger hormones, so it's very, very difficult to not eat what's in your fridge or your cupboard or your freezer. So from that perspective, when you're not eating enough, or when you're eating very little, your body will do things in order to try to mitigate that and get calories back into your body, or at the least prevent calories from being expended from your body. So in that perspective, yes, it's kind of true. But at the same time, at a very base mathematical and scientific level, if you are eating, if you're consuming less energy than you're expending, you are always going to lose weight. Absolutely 100% of the time. And that's a little bit of a vacuum thinking of that's very isolated environment where that ends up being true for somebody. But I think what I'm trying to get across here is that if you have the mentality that if you're 50 pounds overweight and you think you got to be 50 pounds overweight from not eating enough, that's probably not true, and that does not make a lot of sense. But if you were 50 pounds overweight, then you lost 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, and you're through a weight loss process, then your weight loss has stopped, but you don't eat very much, you control your food intake, you're an active person, then you might be seeing the effects of your body rejecting that weight loss a little bit. And I think that's important to clarify, because if you have a ton of weight to lose, you didn't get there because you didn't eat enough.
Right. Okay. So when people talk about losing weight, they're often actually talking about losing fat.
Yes.
Right. And they think about the fat in terms of the number on the scale. But can you talk about this from a fat loss perspective as opposed to a weight loss perspective?
In what way?
So if I eat less, could I maybe stay the same weight but gain more fat and lose some muscle?
Oh, right. So people who step on the scale 5 times over the course of 5 months, their weight is the same, but maybe has my composition changed. So yes, that's possible. But the heavier you are, the more weight you have to lose, the more accurate the scale will be to your weight loss. So let's say your natural body weight is 150 pounds, but you currently weigh 250 pounds. You're not likely to stay 250 pounds while losing a bunch of fat and gaining a bunch of muscle. If you are losing body fat, weight is coming off the scale. But if you're a very, very lean person, like for instance you and I, we can probably see our weight stay the same with body composition changes, with an increase in muscle mass and a decrease in fat mass. But for most people who feel like they have quite a bit of weight to lose, you're going to see that difference on the scale if you have a bunch of fat to lose and you're indeed losing fat. So, the heavier you are, the less it's true that you can change your body composition while remaining the same weight. The leaner you are, the more that's true.
All right. So let's go back to that person who's in the middle of a weight loss journey. Right? They were on their way down, they're doing really well, and they hit a plateau. Right? They stall for a little bit. And you suggested that one of the reasons this might be happening is because their metabolism might have slowed down a little bit, right? Their body might be making them hungry, right? It's going into that starvation mode you mentioned.
Right.
What can that person do? Are they just stuck? Because they're probably resistant to the idea of eating more, right? And as you said, eating more probably will lead to a little bit of weight gain. What is that person to do?
Yeah, so you need to go into a quote-unquote maintenance period, which is 2 to 4 weeks of putting 300-400 calories back into your diet per day. Let your body understand, hey, this person's not at risk of dying. they found some food, everything's okay, and then you can continue back into the weight loss process. So you put some food back in, again, to try and put in, 300 to 400 calories per day, just, generalizing. Do that for 2 to 4 weeks. Let your body adapt, let your body recover, and then you can go back into whatever deficit you were using where you were trying to increase your weight loss. And you'll see for another 4 to 6 weeks, you'll be able to continue to lose weight, but you're going to run into that problem again. So every time you've lost a substantial amount of weight and it seems like your body's starting to reject the weight loss process a little bit, you have to put more food back in. Just make sure it's controlled, make sure it's good foods, whole foods. It's not like you can add it, you can just start eating whatever you want, start going to fast food places, eating junk, but put back in good healthy foods in higher quantities, let your body readjust, let it calibrate, and then you can go back into a period of weight loss.
All right. And from there, will they go back to where they were before, a little bit higher, a little bit lower, or will it just depend?
Well, they should start back where they were before, see how far that takes them, and if weeks go by and nothing's happening, you probably need to reduce your caloric intake a little bit. And of course, as you get leaner and as you lose more weight, this process gets more difficult and you see more barriers and you see more resistance. But the good thing is that as long as you're getting closer to your goal, you're likely happier with yourself and you're in less of a rush to lose that weight anyways.
So it sounds like for most people, eating too little is not the problem that they're experiencing.
No, if you are significantly overweight, you did not get there by undereating and you're not staying there by undereating. And if people want a reality check, if you believe that eating less has led to you gaining weight, especially a significant amount of weight, then you're kidding yourself. You need to write things down, get the facts, look at what you're actually putting in your body day to day, look at the activities you're not doing. We're really good at saying Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m., I eat really, really well. And then they focus on that, forgetting that every night they binge eat, and on the weekend they eat pizza and drink booze all weekend long. We're really good at forgetting about all that stuff that happens and saying, I just don't think I'm eating enough. Because, for one half of the week I eat well and I eat in some sort of, restricted nature. But if you're overweight, it's not because you're not eating enough.
Right, so if you think that this is the problem, maybe start tracking your food and see if you are in fact eating as little as you imagine you're eating.
Yeah, you just want the problem to be that you're not eating enough so you can eat more and lose weight, but unfortunately that's not the reality.
All right, thanks Tom.
Thank you.